Hey everyone, this is Sugandha and you're watching Ready for SS English and I hope so you all are well and you all are waiting for my sessions. Today we are going to discuss something interesting and as you can see this is like what are the reasons for layoff. In the last session we have already discussed what is layoff and why layoffs happen and you can say a little introduction about layoff. Now this session will cover around 8 to 10 reasons why layoff happens. Okay, so make sure to subscribe this channel and if you're watching me for the very first time, and do hit that cute notification bell icon so that you could get my updates later on as well, right? And make sure to remain updated. Please watch this session till end. So let's get started with it. First and the very most important point is economic downturn. Now what is economic downturn? See, during economic recessions or you can say financial instability, people tend to spend less money, which impacts business a lot because they are not investing, they are not spending their money. Okay, so with reduced customer demand, companies may experience lower sales and revenue. Now, above I discussed that due to economic recessions or financial instability, people tend to spend less, which impacts business. Now, spending less means they are not buying much. There is a reduced customer demand, and yes, they are not even investing in the businesses, right? So here we have covered both the things, investing part as well and consumption part as well. Like they are not demanding the products as customers. Okay, so companies experience lower sales and revenue. So what happens is to align their operations with the decreased demand and avoid financial losses, companies might need to reduce their expenses. It's very simple that they need to reduce their expenses, otherwise they will have great financial losses. So one way to do this is by laying off employees because we need to pay their salaries, increments, or you can say means incentives, commissions. We need to pay them a big amount, and that is a fixed amount basically, right? So few workers are needed to produce goods or services or to provide services as there is less demand from the customers. So what we can do, we can lay off the employees in that case. This is actually economic downturn. Okay. Next is cost cutting. Now again, this is related with the above one. Now companies always strive to be financially efficient. They always want to be financially efficient. Okay. So labor costs like including salaries, benefits and related expenses can constitute a significant portion of companies' budgets. Yes, obviously this is a significant budget as we discussed in the first point, economic downturn, that we need to pay fixed expenses, we need to pay salaries, benefits and the related expenses, and that is a significant portion, important, or you can say a big portion. So to enhance profitability, companies might choose to reduce their labor cost through layoffs. Yes, and this could involve letting go of employees who perform non-essential or redundant roles. Means those roles are not required on a daily basis. They are not performing those tasks. They are not performing the tasks which are directly related to the production, or they are directly related to providing the services, right? So in that case, in order to cut the cost, we have to lay off the employees who perform, you can say, non-essential or redundant job. Now, next is restructuring and reorganization. We often heard about restructuring and reorganization within the company. So, this is like as industries evolve and companies may need to adjust their structures and operations, right? They need to, adjust their structures and operations, and this can involve reorganizing departments, combining functions. Few functions needs to be combined, and streamlining processes to stay competitive. While such changes can lead to, increased efficiency, they can also render certain positions unnecessary. And yes, as a result, employees in those roles might be laid off because what we have done, we have combined few functions, we have streamlined the processes, we have reorganized the departments. Now what happened is we have merged two departments. Like for example, two departments we have merged. It could be like we have merged marketing and branding. Okay. Obviously similar kind of departments can be merged. Like we have done it that marketing and branding we have merged. So earlier there were 10 employees working in both the department, like 5 or 5, and now we have merged it. So we require only 8 people. Now this is just an example. Okay. Don't take it sentimentally that how we can do this or what. This is just an example. So like 10 employees were there. Now we require 8 employees because we have merged it, or we need 7 or 6 employees only. Okay. So now what will happen to the 2 or 3 or 4 employees? Yes, they will be laid off. Okay. So this is restructuring and reorganization. Now, fourth is mergers and acquisitions, right? You might relate this mergers and acquisitions with restructuring and reorganization, but these two are different. Restructuring and reorganization is internal, companies internal, and this merger and acquisitions are external, right? How? Now let's understand. When companies merge or one acquires another, okay, they are now two companies. There can be overlaps in functions, departments, and job roles. Again, this is like overlapping functions, departments, and job roles because two separate companies are there and both the companies are running the same functions, departments, and job roles. Now they are combined. So now we don't need that much people. Okay. So to eliminate these duplications and achieve operational synergies, the combined entity might decide to lay off employees who hold redundant positions. Okay. Again, the same thing. Fine. So this is obviously two companies are there, company A and company B, and both the companies have 5 departments, A and B, and in each department, for example, you can say 10 people are working. Now when they are merged, we don't need 10 people in one department. We need only 10 people in one department, or you can say we need only 12 or 13 or 14 people in one department. So all the rest employees, you can say 6 or 8 employees will be laid off. Okay. So this is mergers and acquisitions. Now, fifth is technological advancements. Again, this is important as we know that artificial intelligence is there and people have lost their jobs. And yes, we'll be losing jobs in the near future as well. Okay. So advancements in technologies like you can say automation, artificial intelligence can bring necessary changes, right? So while these technologies can increase efficiency, and they might replace certain job tasks previously performed by humans, as we can see that yes, now we have AI anchors. Earlier obviously people were doing the anchoring part work, and so now the anchors will be replaced in the near future. Now we hear that this TV channel has introduced multiple language anchor. This TV channel has introduced. This TV channel has introduced, right? So we are hearing on, you can say, after every 10 to 15 days that there's a big change in this news channel. They've replaced anchor, human anchor with the AI anchor. Okay, so this is happening. And as companies adopt these technologies to improve their processes, they might reduce their workforce and yes, lay off employees whose roles have become obsolete. This is very common, right? So now next is outsourcing and offshoring. Now this is also very important because outsourcing, yes, to reduce cost, companies may choose to outsource specific functions or processes to whom? To external vendors, or move operations to countries with lower labor cost. Yes, there are countries where labor cost is less, so we can hire the people from there. While this can be economically beneficial, but yes, it can lead to layoff for employees whose roles are outsourced or relocated. Now, outsourcing is simple, like we can say that if we are doing recruitment, then we hire HR people, we hire recruiters in our company. That is one thing. And what we do, sometimes we outsource it to the recruitment agency, to the staffing agency. So this is also an outsourcing. Fine. So this is an example of outsourcing in recruitments in HRs also. So next is decline in demand. Now this is very common. Like if companies' products or services experienced a sustained decrease in demand, then obviously the company's revenue can suffer. And we can say to align their workforce with the reduced demand, companies might lay off employees to avoid overstaffing and financial strain. This is very common when people are not buying my product, people are not interested in my product, my company's revenues are suffering and they're decreasing day by day. So how can I employ a large workforce? How can I pay them at the month end? Right? So I have to reduce this, I have to lay off the employees, and yes, that will lead to layoff. Next is financial instability. Now see, companies facing financial difficulties might resort to layoffs as part of broader effort to stabilize their finances and prevent bankruptcy. Now you can relate this financial instability with the above points as well, where I discussed about decline in demand, or you can say where I discussed about the economic downturn. See, there is a slight difference between all these points, and I have discussed this. Like in economic downturn, we are talking about that people are not spending less and businesses are impacting. There is a reduced customer demand and lower sales and revenue is there. And in the next point where we have discussed, like in 7th point, we have discussed decline in demand. That was like companies' revenue was suffering due to any reason, like products or services are experiencing, sustained decrease in demand. That could be due to any reason. That's not only due to that economic downturn means people are not investing or something. It could be like our product is, unpopular now, so there is a decline in demand or something like that. Fine. Now, here we are talking about financial instability. This is like company facing financial difficulties might resort to layoffs. And yes, this is a broader effort to basically stabilize their finances and yes, prevent bankruptcy. Why? Because see, by reducing their workforce, they aim to lower operational cost and improve their financial health. Now, I again say repeatedly that yes, laying off employees is a saddening part, and for employees also that they have been removed all of a sudden. But there is no point in hanging employees, or there is no point in continuing the jobs at a place where you won't be getting salary after few months or after a month. And for that survival, you need money, you need your salary. You are based on that job, you are based on that salary which you will be getting after a month. So it's better to get laid off rather than being hanged with the same position, with the same profile, and thinking that yes, one day we will get salary. Okay, so this is also truth, and let's discuss next point. This is performance issues. Now, in some cases, like companies might need to let go of employees who consistently underperform or fail to meet the company's standards, which is very normal. Now, this decision can be challenging. Yes, this can be challenging, and but this is aimed at maintaining overall performance and productivity. Like if few employees are there, they're not performing well, they have issues. So what will happen in future, like if they're working with a team of 10 people and there are 2 people who are not performing well. Now they know that they're not performing well because we have given, we have tried lot while you're doing a performance appraisal, while implementing a performance improvement plan, and we have told them about their areas for improvement. We have trained them, coached them, mentored them many times, but they're not able to improve. So some way you can say that their mind is affected by this, and they will be affecting other people by sometimes getting too much demotivated, and even the other colleagues may get demotivated that all the efforts have been done, still these people are not able to improve, so what is the matter? And see, this is like it can happen with anyone. This is a very normal thing, even if we are at home and for few days, or you can say for few months, we are not feeling good at our place, even when all the we have like our parents, siblings, and all the known people there. So we are not able to perform properly or something like that, and now we need a change. We move to certain place, we travel, we sometimes we go for holidays or something like that, right? So this happens with the people. We all are human beings. So this is like if there are performance issues, then and we have done everything to improve their performance and still it's not improving, then it's better to let off these employees, okay? Because it will impact them, it will impact the work environment, other colleagues, and teamwork, and yes, entire organization. Okay, so last is shift in strategy. No, it's not last, we will be discussing or 2-3 more. So shift in strategy. So like if company changes its business strategy to focus on different products, or you can say services, markets, certain job roles may no longer align with the new direction. Like if we want to experiment something new, we are going to experiment new business strategies, or we are going for different products, services, markets. Like we were dealing with in non-IT products. Now we started dealing in IT products. And what I need IT professionals for that, and non-IT professionals means few people from non-IT professionals will lose their jobs. Okay, so this is like, as a result, yes, employees in those roles might be laid off to better align with the workforce and with, yes, new company goals as well. Now, 11th is location closure. Now, this is very common, and you can guess by name that yes, when a company closes a specific office, or you can say factory, store, or so due to market changes or operational inefficiencies or consolidation, employees in that location might be laid off as there is no longer a need for their roles. Now, you can say that these people could be transferred to other place. Now, see, imagine if you are I'm making these sessions in India, and here we have people like from north, east, south, west, and people are having different regional backgrounds and different way of handling things and way of doing things and way of performing the task. So it could be like if we are closing the store, or you can say a specific office in south, so we can't transfer the people from there to the north if they are from that background only, because they won't be able to adjust properly in north. Okay, people do that, like people know regional languages or something, but it happens several times that people are not able to adjust that way. Okay, so if there is an option that yes, we can shift or we can transfer, then yes, company try these options. But if these options are not available, like they're of no use, so obviously we need to lay off these employees. And yes, 12th is regulatory changes. Now see, this is in no one's hand. So changes in regulation, or you can say compliance requirements or legal factors, can force companies to adapt quickly to new standards. And yes, this might involve reorganizing roles or functions, potentially leading to layoffs. And if certain positions become obsolete, or you can say non-compliant. Okay, because if there are changes in regulations, then we have to adhere to it. Okay, so I hope so this is like clear. And yes, layoffs are often emotionally charged events, and yes, they can deeply impact employees, their families, the company's culture. But companies strive to manage the process with the care, with empathy, and we need to do that, offering support to affected employees through severance packages and yes, career transition assistance, and of course, emotional counseling. Okay, I again say that it's better not to continue job at a place where you won't be paid, rather than continuing the job and thinking that yes, we are in jobs. Okay, so I hope so this was helpful, and I would be continuing these sessions like on layoff. I have a lot to discuss, and I'm thinking to do some interview questions, like if you have been through layoff, if you are going interviews, and you will be asked questions after layoff, then how you will be answering this. If you're a candidate, means if you are an employee who was the part of this layoff process, and who was actually laid off, and if you are an HR who was involved in this process, or you are an employee who was the part of the company who laid off certain employees, then what kind of interview questions can be asked if you will be going for interviews in future companies. Okay, so I would be doing this, and if you're interested, please stay here, and yes, I'm waiting for your comments. Please do write, and please you can request any other sessions as well. So till next video, all the very best. Stay happy, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.